we now meet a very interesting character, Madame Sosostris. When I read The Wasteland for the first time as a child, as a schoolboy, under the guidance of my father, who was a professor of mathematics with a passion for English literature, I had serious difficulties in pronouncing the name Madame Sosostris. I am not sure I have overcome those difficulties even now. I was fascinated by her. My father used to compel me to read all the stuff, and as a result, he succeeded in ruining my childhood. Perhaps I should be eternally grateful to him for ruining my childhood, because it is because of my ruined childhood that I am saying all this nonsense to you now. I think I'm becoming too autobiographical. Madame Sosostris, famous clairvoyant. Clairvoyant literally means one who can see clearly. Here it means one who can see what is going to happen, one who can predict the future, a fortune teller. Madame Sosostris, famous clairvoyant, had a bad cold. What a lovely line. Had a bad cold. I think it would have been better if T.S. Eliot had written, has a bad cold. But he deliberately decided to write, had a bad cold, despite the fact that it creates some tense confusions, because he loved the rhyme pattern, had a bad cold. There is great irony here. Madame Sosostris, the famous fortune teller, predicts the futures of other people but cannot predict her own future. Solves the sufferings of other people but cannot solve her own suffering. She suffered from a very bad cold. Is the cold merely a cold, or is it something more than that? Is it an indication of the fact that the entire personality of Madame Sosostris is deceased? Nevertheless, is known to be the wisest woman in Europe, Madame Sosostris. I think I should tell you that T.S. Eliot was inspired to use this name from Aldous Huxley's novel Crow-Mellow. It's a mock Egyptian name. T.S. Eliot probably used a mock Egyptian name because it is incorrectly believed, at least it was incorrectly believed, that the gypsies originated from Egypt. Most of the fortune tellers in Europe were gypsies, and it was wrongly believed that they came from Egypt. And perhaps T.S. Eliot shared this misconception. It is true that they came from Egypt, but they came to Egypt from India. The gypsies originated from northwestern India, the area around Rajasthan, and their language, Rahmani, is closely related to Hindustani. Madame Sosostris, the famous clairvoyant, is looked upon as the wisest woman in Europe. This speaks volumes not only about Madame Sosostris, but also about Europe. Europe, with its flattened cities, its decimated populations, its crumbling polities, its imploding economies, and its demoralized psyche, is in a state of utter despair, and it pins its hopes on wretched fortune tellers like Madame Sosostris. It is significant that the wisest woman in Europe is not a philosopher, not a scholar, not a statesman, or a stateswoman rather, not a leader, but a miserable clairvoyant. In real life, T.S. Eliot had nothing but contempt for fortune telling and astrology. And fortune telling and astrology are looked upon as evil practices in mainstream Christianity. She has a wicked pack of cards. Why a wicked pack of cards? The pack of cards is used by Madame Sosostris to carry out her fortune telling. Why is it wicked? It is the main weapon, it is the main instrument used by Madame Sosostris to cheat her clients, to defraud society. Traditionally, fortune tellers have down the centuries been looked upon in Europe as cheats, crooks, thieves, out to fool gullible people. The lines that follow tell us of the cards Madame Sosostris picks up. There is a Phoenician sailor. There is Belladonna. There is a man with three staffs. There is the wheel. There is a one-eyed merchant. There is a card which is blank. In the middle of all this is embedded the line, "Those are pearls that were his eyes." This is a beautiful line, borrowed from The Tempest of William Shakespeare. I know that you may complain that all this is not very coherent. I agree with you. Perhaps the poet wants to throw light on the fundamental incoherence, the fundamental contradictions in the process of fortune telling. However, it has to be pointed out that the cards picked up by Madame Sosostris rather accurately predict what is going to happen, not in the future, but in the coming lines of the poem. The Phoenician sailor, the belladonna, the man with three staffs, the hanged man will all be come across in the rest of the wasteland. For example, the belladonna could be the lady in the next section of the wasteland, a game of chess. The man with three staffs could be the Fisher King. The hanged man could be Jesus Christ. There can also be references to ancient cultural practices. For example, the drowned Phoenician sailor could refer to the image of the fertility god that was ritually thrown into the sea in the ancient Greek city of Phoenicia in an annual ritual. Similarly, though I have said that the hanged man could be Jesus Christ, the hanged man could also be the image of some ancient pagan god who was subjected to ritual sacrifice. The wheel can stand for justice. The blank card can stand for religion, for Christianity. It is made clear that the wastelanders are unable to see what Christianity teaches them. Looking at her tarot cards, what does Madame Sosostris see? She sees crowds of people walking round in a ring. People walking round in a ring means people engaging themselves in extremely dull, extremely mechanical routine. This is exactly what happens in every European city. People leading dull, mechanical, routine, boring lives. Madame Sosostris claiming to see this is not a big deal because she is only seeing the obvious. You don't need a pack of tarot cards to see the dull routine followed by the wastelanders. Mrs. Equiton is a client of Madame Sosostris. In the closing lines of the stanza, Madame Sosostris says that she has to be careful these days. One must be so careful these days. Hence, she is going to bring the horoscope herself to Mrs. Equiton. In certain European countries, fortune telling was banned, and fortune tellers were harassed by the police. This could be referred to by the lines. I have not read to you the prediction of Madame Sosostris. What is the great prediction of Madame Sosostris? Fear death by water. Fear death by water. The full significance of this prediction will become clear by the time we complete reading The Wasteland. I would like to attempt to establish a kind of parallel between Madame Sosostris and the two other clairvoyants in the wasteland, the Sibyl and Tiresias. All three of them suffer. The Sibyl suffers. Tiresias suffers. Madame Sosostris does not seem to suffer very much. She has a bad cold. She is harassed by the police. That is all. But perhaps that is because the story of Madame Sosostris has not ended. Fortune tellers, clairvoyants, astrologers, T.S. Eliot had only contempt for them. They predict the futures of others but cannot predict their own future. They try to solve the sufferings of others, but ultimately end up suffering themselves.